Welcome to BaldHeaded Metal, guys, and welcome back to another review for Abbath's Reaver album. Now, I need to preface this for those who are looking for this review as more of an opinion, is that I am a huge Immortal fan. I got in with the band from At the Heart of Winter, and I really fell in love on Damned in Black and At the Heart of Winter, and I really fell in love with this band and the whole black metal scene because of Immortal. And I've really come to love Sons of Northern Darkness as my favorite album. I love their solo projects with Demonaz, and especially Eye Between Worlds. I absolutely fucking love that record. I like the new Immortal album, Northern Chaos, that's without Abbath. And I love Abbath's 3 albums that he's released, the Outsider, Abbath, and now Reaver. Now, reviewing the album Reaver, it's 39 minutes, it's not very long, it's 9 songs, with one of them being a cover, Trapped Under Ice, the Metallica song from Ride the Lightning. It's been the problem with Abbath's albums for me, is that they take multiple listens for me to even appreciate them, because I've always felt like the tail end of Immortal and everybody in Immortal was Sons of Northern Darkness, and from there it became a kind of a peak going down. Like, it was their Rust in Peace, it was their Master of Puppets. It's as good as it gets with Sons of Northern Darkness with this band. And it's been the case with Abbath as well. The music he's produced with these 3 albums is good. It just takes time for me to get into. But those who will be jumping into this album will recognize what it is. It's pretty much Eye Between Worlds to me, because there's a lot of rock elements in this album. You can see his love for Motorhead and his love for classic bands like Led Zeppelin as well in this album all over. And the production, it's a classic kind of black metal production where it has a messiness to it and a rawness and edge to it, but it's clear enough where you can hear all the instruments. The songs, there are songs that I was immediately hooked onto, like Septentrion, or let's say Dream Call, which when I did a reaction to it, I automatically loved it. And even the simpler side of the Book of Breath and Reaver, but they were still good songs. There's a lot of songs here that I haven't clicked with yet, even after 6 listens to it, which is why I'm doing this review so late, is I gave myself many chances to listen to the album and over and over and over again and see if my opinion changes. And songs like Acid Haze, they're not bad, but they're not exactly something that I really, really love, let's put it that way. And Scarred Core, Mirrored Dome, I really, really like that song, but then the Deep Unbound, the album in general has a sameness to it. I thought Eye Between Worlds or Sons of Northern Darkness or At the Heart of Winter, each song was so different than all those albums, and they offered different riffs and different things that you can come back to. And Reaver, even Outsider, and I would say even Abbath's album, there's a sameness to the albums, despite the fact that they are really good outings for the genre of black metal. And that's my just personal opinion. Of course, there's going to be people who disagree where I come from and my opinion. The album is 39 minutes, so we get a cover of Trapped Under Ice. I don't know who needed this Metallica cover. It's not one of my favorite songs. It comes out from Ride the Lightning. I thought he could have covered better Metallica songs that would have fit within the framework of what Abbath is. And the big question was, right, for everybody, can Abbath write music without Demonaz? Because Demonaz is, by many people, the way it's kind of been told, the story's been told by Demonaz, he wrote most of the music for Immortal, and that Abbath was really just the face of the band. And it was a big question, can Abbath write music without Demonaz? And the answer is yes, he can. Is it on the same level? Well, I would argue no, it's not on the same level as Immortal, but I would also argue that Immortal has never been the same, even with Demonaz in there, after Sons of Northern Darkness with All Shall Fall. Had good songs, but I would say half of the album was, a little bit too repetitive. Northern Chaos was a good album, but, it's not the height of Immortal. And at the same time, Demonaz's solo project is good, but again, very simplistic. So they've never hit those peaks ever again that they had with At the Heart of Winter and Sons of Northern Darkness, which are staple black metal albums. That being said, I think it's a worthwhile album to check out. I feel like many people are just not going to be into it right off the bat and get into this album. It's one of those things that's going to grow on you over time, and as you give it more and more listens, you're really going to jump into what Abbath really created with this album. And there is high quality metal to be had here, but as a fan of his previous projects, I can't help but compare. I know people say don't compare, don't put it to all these older things. I can't do that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I cannot do that, because that is the reason why I love Abbath, is their music that they've created in Immortal. That is why I love Demonaz. is for the music that they've created. Immortal to me had this thrashy element to their black metal that I always loved. With At the Hard Winter song, it's Withstand the Fall of Time, has some nice thrashy riffs in there. Sons of Northern Darkness, a One by One, I fucking love that song. Damned in Black, I even like that album. But I wish I liked this album more, and I come away a little bit disappointed. And again, it's not at the cost of saying that this album is bad, is that I expected it to be more, especially the way they were hyping it up, this album all over, and how good it was going to be. And it's kind of falls in with within the same realm of what the the two other Abbath albums are. If you enjoyed those, I know you're gonna enjoy this album just as much. If you were the one who got introduced to Abbath through those albums, or you just kind of love everything that Abbath has produced, or perhaps you don't have the same emotional attachments that I have, I think you're just gonna enjoy this album and it's gonna be right up your alley. But somebody who's religiously listened to Immortal, and religiously listened to I Between Worlds, Demonaz, and his previous records, I can't say that it's the peak of his career. It's just another good outing from this band. I'll put it that way. I'll leave it here with that for you guys, because I'm gonna see if there's anybody of the fans of Abbath and Immortal as I am, and kind of your opinions, where we differ, where we have discussions and discourse. I want to hear from you as well, and will you disagree with me? I want to have conversations about it, but I feel like it's one of those elements where I've gotten the best albums and I will always go back to them, and I'll come back for the new albums for the good stuff that they produce. Also, in the respects of other bands, when they're on their way down, some people fall really hard, like we talked about with Metallica and Megadeth. This is still a high quality album, it's just not as good as what I've heard before. That's all I gotta say. Guys, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and most of all, keep it metal.